Good morning, the Hawk.
Hey, how are you? This is Charlie Worsham.
Is this really Charlie Horsham?
This is me. It's good to be talking to you.
I heard a rumor that you might be calling in, but I didn't want to get my hopes up in case Glenn was like pulling a stunt on me or something like that. I don't know if you've heard, I am a huge fan of yours.
Well, that makes me grin from ear to ear. I can't wait to hug your neck and play some songs for you, Traci.
Did you just say hug my neck?
You have to get down on one knee.
I'll hug your neck too.
No, he meant get down on one knee because I'm so short.
Yes.
Okay.
I have so many questions for you, but I just saw you posted that you got to catch a flight. So we'll dive right in. And I guess my first question is, rumor has it you've been doing some songwriting with Ashley Monroe and Vince Gill. Any truth to that?
I sure have. And it was not that long ago. I got to write with each of them. We were at Vince's house. And it's pretty crazy because when you're at Vince's house, you hear clanking in the kitchen, and it's actually Amy Grant. And all the guitars hanging up and all the amazing memorabilia that he's collected over the years. I went to use the restroom, and there are letters from former presidents hanging up on the wall, not your typical decor. That was such an incredible experience, and it was so gratifying because once we got into writing a song together, we all became three people who love music and who are students of the craft of songwriting. And it was really cool to experience that, sitting next to one of my all-time heroes and just being completely open and kind of vulnerable the way that you have to be when you're writing a song was a really special thing.
I grew up the grandchild of a pastor, and I was that kid who went to church like 4 times a week and went to summer missions trips. And there came a point in my life, and I was like, there's so much pomp and circumstance, and it seems like things are one way during the week and another way during Sunday. And I really struggled to explain to my family how I felt. And then I heard your song, How I Learned to Pray. It touches my heart. And the first time I heard it, I cried because it says everything that I have been feeling in my heart, but didn't know how to put into words.
Wow, thank you, Traci. That is the coolest thing you could tell me. That's the coolest compliment ever. That means the world to hear that. That is the whole reason that I think any of us pack our stuff up and move to Nashville and go try to write and sing songs. Thank you. That's an incredible story.
How did that come up for you? Is that something that you were feeling in your heart, or did it just work out to be a good song lyric?
It is a lyric that I believe, but one of my co-writers, Jeremy Spillman, I was really blessed to get to write with him that day because he really brought a big part of that idea in, and he and my other co-writer, Ryan Tyndall, I contributed to that song and all, but Jeremy and Ryan really, things were spilling out of their mouths. They were just, lines that made it into the final version of the song, just like it was a conversation about the weather or something. It was a really cool gift, to get to be a part of that song.
I'm kind of hearing that when Want Me To is done, gets to number 1 is done. I think I know what song Traci wants you to release next. I could be wrong.
Actually, you know what?
I could be wrong.
You could be wrong. My favorite song, other than How I Learned to Pray, is Mississippi in July.
Ooh, thank you. Now, that was definitely largely autobiographical, and there's a quote, I forget who said it, about songwriting being part truth, part fiction, and part BS or whatever, but you can't let the truth get in the way. I appreciate you guys giving me the good omen on Want Me To. I hope that happens.
This is a very intricate question. I'll try and make this kind of short
He
for you.
doesn't miss his flight.
I know, we don't want you to miss your flight, okay?
I'm laughing because I'm curious.
It's kind of on a more serious note. So your record rep, Lindsay Walleman, passed away from sarcoma. I never had the chance to meet her, but we had a bunch of mutual friends. I've only ever heard phenomenal things about her. And before she passed away, the FTL Fund was created. I'm watching Bones, and I noticed that sarcoma was worked into the storyline. And I thought it was really interesting because you were on the show, you were featuring your new song, and character being diagnosed with sarcoma. Was that coincidence, or was that done on purpose?
That was, I like to call it coincidence. It was not planned. The whole Bones thing happened so quickly. I pretty literally got the phone call about it on a Tuesday and was on a plane in the next 48 hours. I was actually scheduled the weekend that I had filmed that to play the Grand Ole Opry, and you don't lightly reschedule an Opry performance, but it was too cool of an opportunity. And it's somewhere in that very, very quick process, that short time, I was given the script, and I only had a couple lines, but of course I read the whole script to see what the story was about. And sarcoma, the first time I read it through, I was like, man, that's interesting. And of course, Lindsay crossed my mind. But then the more that the experience built up, and especially when it aired, it really hit home. And yes, and I'm glad you guys brought that up because Lindsay was such a bright light of a human being, and everybody who knew her, it was better for it. And the the For the Lens organization is a really great cause, and I hope that I get to do a lot to support it and promote that in the coming months and years.
You know, we probably should talk a little bit about your latest song, Want Me To. I understand this is the kind of song that's going to make you want to drive a little fast.
It is. It all started with a guitar lick, and that's usually a good thing. And the song I open a lot of my shows with, Electric On, and I really just cut loose with. And we almost forgot about the song. We were going in to record a demo session, and we needed one more song, and so we looked back and just happened to see Want Me To at the last minute, and it really ended up being an important part of the record and of my shows, and I think to be this next single, because it's just, I remember when Ma Maria was on the radio, and still to this day when it comes on the radio, I'd catch myself going 75 or 80.
Love that song.
Because you zone out, and you just are like, man, this is rocking.
Charlie, how much more time do we have before you got to get on that flight?
Because everybody's hovering by the gate, but I don't think they're boarding just yet.
I got some fun questions for you, all right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know, myself included, is Chuck Monster a real person, or is he kind of like your Chris Gaines?
No, he's absolutely a real person.
Is his name Charlie Worsham?
No. I'm not the Chuck Monster.
If we walked into your house and we looked inside your refrigerator, what would we find?
A lot of water bottles, Chobani yogurt, probably a couple of beers, a lot of ketchup, and a lot of hot sauce.
Chobani is actually the right answer because Chobani is based here. They're based locally in the Binghamton area.
I've actually been through Binghamton before, and even there's an Italian
Cortez.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Traci knows. Traci knows you've been here.
You know how I know, Charlie, is because I used to live in Pennsylvania before I moved here, and I heard that you were performing at the Great York Fair. So I reached out to all of my friends, and I was like, you guys have got to drop everything you're doing and get yourself to the fair and go see Charlie Worsham. And one of the girls who went to the concert met you backstage and asked you if you would record a video message for me, and you did.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I have to call again because this has not even been long enough to scratch the surface of all of the things that we want to talk to you about.
No, let's do. Sign me up. This has been a blast talking to you guys, and especially, I love the broad range of questions, everything from the poignant to the hilarious.
Hey, before you go, I just want to say I know that you are just starting out. You're getting your footing in the world of country music. A lot of people compare you to Vince Gill, which is an honor, and Vince is a monster in his own right. I gotta tell you, I think you've got it, and I think if you continue to follow your heart, and I think if you continue to work really hard, you are going to reach that Vince Gill status. I'm really, really excited to see what you come out with next.
Wow. Thank you, Traci.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much, and have a safe flight.
All right.
Bye, Charlie.
Bye.